The 2023 Lidl Ladies National Football League kicks off this weekend, and one of the big standout ties in round one is the meeting of Dublin and All-Ireland and defending league champions Meath, and I'm delighted to be joined by Dublin's Carla Rowe and Meath's Emma Duggan. Ladies, you couldn't have asked for a harder opening round match this weekend. You're both going to have to hit the ground running.
Yeah, 100%. Well, look, it's a really exciting game to be, I suppose, exploding the National League onto the scene. So looking forward to a great game against Meath, which have always been very intense, and getting the league started.
And for you,
very similar. I think it's the best way to start the league. I think we'll find out very quickly where we're at, which is the way we want it to be. But like I said, it doesn't matter how important the game is. Meath versus Dublin is always going to be a big game, so we're really looking forward to it.
And it's sort of going to be a new look team for both. Emma, you've a number of players missing for the league campaign. A couple of players have gone to Australia, including Vicky Wall. They're going to be big losses for the defence of your title.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll obviously miss the girls, but it's an opportunity for a lot of girls to step up and put their hand up for some game time. We have a lot of new players in, especially a lot of minors have come in this year. There's about 12 or so of them, so they've been keeping us on our toes, and they're flying at the minute. So I assume that they'll probably get an opportunity sometime in the league. So it's massive for them, and obviously the more games this league campaign as well, it's the better for them. So it's exciting.
And Carla, Dublin might be very unrecognisable to a lot of fans for the opening round. A couple of players out injured. Nicole Owens, Rachel Harnett and Hannah Lee are out with knee injuries, won't be available. And of course, stalwart Lindsay Davey announced her inter-county retirement there in December. So it's a new look Dublin team for this weekend.
Yeah, and I think that's what's important. I think you need fresh, new players pushing everyone and pushing the standard, and thankfully this year we've got that. I think we kind of were missing that a little bit over the last 2 years. Probably COVID had an impact on minor players coming up and they didn't get their minor season, whereas this year, as Emma said, we're similar. We've got lots of new young girls coming in, and it's a lovely mix. It's really brought the environment of training and the freshness up, and the competitive edge is there. So it'll be a pity, you'll never replace the likes of Lindsay Davey, a fantastic stalwart for Dublin. I think playing since she's 15 or something like that. I wouldn't say there's many people that have a record like that. But look, she's always a phone call away, and she's always a very honest phone call, so I'll be making sure to stay in contact with her.
And looking at that, both teams introducing new players, we're back to the traditional 7-game format in the league. I'm sure the players are happy about that. It's more games than they've had over the last couple of years. But it is important when you're bedding in new players to have that game time.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think any of us will be complaining about all the games. Like you said, everyone prefers playing games over training. We were only laughing about earlier, the more games, the less running we have to do in between all that. So that's obviously a positive. But like you said, it's a massive opportunity for players who are new in, or players that haven't got much game time over the last few years, to put their hand up. And we do have players that have been involved for the last few years that haven't got game time. They're really pushing on this year, and they're hungry to get a starting position this year. So the more games is the better for them.
And Carla, what's it like to actually play in these games against Meath? They're always titanic battles. What's it like as a player to play in them?
Yeah, it's a fantastic opportunity, obviously, to be given a starting jersey in those games. It's an honour to put on a Dublin jersey any day. So to get a starting jersey is a huge thing, and you just have to make sure that you do as much as you can for the time that your legs will carry you until you pass it on to the next player that's ready to come in. And if you can do that, then you're doing your job really well. But it's exciting. It's great to have such a great game at such an early stage of the league. And as you said, the league is 7 games, which is fantastic, and hopefully it gives us a good opportunity to correct some of the learnings we've had over the last year or two, and as well as that, get some of those new girls some game exposure.
Emma, last year you completed the back-to-back All-Ireland titles and also won the Division 1 title. There's going to be a huge target on the Meath players' backs again this season. Everyone's going to be gunning to beat Meath. How do you handle the pressure of that?
Yeah, look, I think there is going to be a target there, as was last year. I think the challenge for us, since coming up to senior, has been to get to the top. And now that we're there, the challenge is to try and stay at the top. I think, Carla knows all too well about that. So, we are, probably, the hunted now, which brings its own challenge. But like I said, it's really exciting. We have to keep improving ourselves because there's a pack of teams chasing us. So it's about, I suppose, changing things up, tweaking things, improving things all the time, and keeping it fresh. So that's challenge for this year. But like I said, it's really exciting and one that we're really looking forward to.
And did you feel that change in dynamic last season, having won the All Ireland the previous season? Dublin that year would have been seen as favourites, and Meath won the final. Did you see a change in dynamic then after winning it, that you were, as you say, now being the hunted?
Yeah, look, 2022 was really, really different. I think when we first came up in 21, people probably didn't look at us too closely, which probably suited us. We went under the radar a little bit, whereas in 2022 that changed a lot. People were aware of us then, which is a good thing. But I think I wouldn't call it pressure as such, but we did have to, I suppose, change our mindset a little bit, that teams were looking at us more closely. We had to change things a little bit, but as cliche as it sounds, we really did take each game as it came. Every team brings a different challenge, and you kind of have to adapt to that a little bit as well, and it's going to be no different again this year. Obviously we have a few more challenges and obstacles, new management and stuff like that we're still getting to know each other a little bit more, but that'll come, and hopefully it'll be a long season ahead this year, so there's loads of time to do that.
And Carla, for Dublin, as I say, it's a new look team. There's going to be new players who'll be getting plenty of game time. What's the actual target for Dublin during the league? I know most players will say we want to win it, and I'm sure that target is there, but what is the target for Dublin? Is it just to get as many of those players bedded in ahead of the Leinster and the All-Ireland competitions?
Yeah, it obviously goes without saying everyone's target in a competitive setup is to win, so that's the obvious one. But yeah, for us it's probably, as you said, getting young girls that game time, but also there's different systems that are working now in ladies Gaelic football. You've got more defensive systems and more offensive systems, and I think that's something which we need to learn to deal with a bit better, and probably last year that was something which we against Donegal got caught out on, so it's just being able to be more adaptable. So if we can do that and learn that experience in the league, that would be huge for us. But obviously you're aiming for April, the league final is where you're looking for, but the 7 games is a great opportunity for the likes of myself. I haven't had a league campaign in 2 years with injuries, so really looking forward to that. And as I said, for young girls and just for the team to get back together and get games under our belt.
So as I say, the big one on Saturday in DCU, Dublin versus Meath. What can we expect from that game?
I'd say an absolute tenacious battle. Everyone's going to be gunning for it. I think although it's very early in the year, there's still a lot of work to be done. We're going to be up for it. I'm sure there's a lot of hunger there for Dublin as well. So it's going to be a lot of physicality. I'm sure a very, very high intensity game. But that's what you want. So looking forward to it.
And the actual league itself is so highly competitive now. Like we have the All-Ireland finalists, Kerry are now back up into Division 1, so there's really no breathing space to have an off day, is there? You really have to be at it from day one.
Yeah, and that's the great thing. It really pushes you on quite early in the season you're getting those competitive matches, but I suppose at less of a knockout intensity. Or you're not being worried about being knocked out. You obviously want to win every single game, but it gives you that learning opportunity, which is hugely, hugely important. And to have, as you said, 7 teams which are really competitive in Division 1 is fantastic. And there's not only like me to be looking at, you've Donegal, you've Kerry, you've Dublin, so there's numerous teams there that week in, week out, you can't just dismiss any given team. Okay,
well, Carla and Emma, thanks very much for taking the time to talk to us, and very best of luck to both of you on Saturday. I really hope it's the usual titanic battle between the two sides, and I'm sure everyone is looking forward to it. Thanks very much.
Thank you.